Best thing you guys can do right now is click that like button, baby, in the chat all around the world, wherever you're watching from. Go ahead and click that like button. Toni Storm is once again a champion in AEW. Did the story pay off for you guys? It was a spectacle in Australia. Tony Khan got cheered and booed. People try to say he got booed who hate him. People try to say he got cheered who love him. A little bit of a mix there. Plus, the Road Dogg is back as one of the head writers of WWE SmackDown. I really think there's a lot of unnecessary criticism about that, and I'm going to talk about it. Trust me. I understand, man, that there was a time where SmackDown was a little bit bizarre, but quite honestly, bro, so many stories and ideas were just buzzsawed the last time the Road Dogg was in charge of SmackDown and WWE writing and news and things like that. Like, you really can't even judge it. It's not even fair. It's not even... I can't even tell you. Like, it's off the rails. But yeah, please click that like button for us, guys, if you can. Give me that like. Love to have you guys click that like button. We are here for a bit here tonight. How's everybody's Sunday night? What a night, man. Sunday night. It's good to be with you. I've been able to stream pretty much like every day because I lost my job. And this is my second job, so now this is my only job. So here we are. This is one of the scariest times of my life, but I'm going to come on here with a smile on my face and pretend, that London Bridge isn't falling down, but that's okay because I'm not okay. But there is some stuff to talk about, man. Don't worry about that. We'll move on to the other stuff. Like I said, Toni Storm, she wins again. Mercedes Moné dressed up like the event itself, for God's sake, the other night. But the biggest thing you guys can do right now is click that like button and let this video get out there, because I have been putting out so many videos that YouTube is not going to tell the algorithm that we're live, really. So I'm counting on you guys to spread the word, spread the algorithm. And we need about 100 likes for the algorithm to really start taking off the right way. But that's fine. More wrestling news plus whatever you guys want to talk about. Live calls. We're going to take your calls. And we'll take your money, too, if you want to donate to the show. And I'm going to pin that to the top of the chat just in a second. And whatever you guys want to talk about, news-wise, the world-wise, personally, whatever it is, it's on the table tonight. All right, so there's a lot of news about Road Dogg out there. We want to get to that at some point because people are just, man, they're having a friggin' feeding frenzy on Twitter. They're having like a mark-out breakdown on Twitter over Road Dogg, which is ridiculous. I understand what people's perception is, but I don't know, man. I'll give you my honest thoughts. First of all, do I remember everything? No. I don't remember everything that happened with, that Road Dogg was doing the last time. I don't remember everything. He was the head writer, right? He was the head guy the last time. Road Dogg was the head guy, which I believe he was the head guy if I remember everything correctly. And I don't think I shared a lot of stuff. I don't think I spent a ton of time specifically talking about Road Dogg. The last time that Road Dogg was in charge of stuff, I don't think I spent a lot of time directly calling him out or praising or whatever. I just saw it as a lot of people were writing a lot of things, and he was kind of the overseer of the whole thing. I did tweet him a lot back in the day. I would tweet him like angry or grumpy or whatever. I wasn't really that angry all the time, but it probably came across that way when I would tweet the Road Dogg certain things. He probably thought it was like an attack or whatever. But like, and it wasn't always his fault or even didn't even relate to him. I just like to tweet him. Like, I don't know what it is about him, but there's a few people I like to tweet because I know you'll see this maybe. Check this out. But I like the Road Dogg a lot. But so I would definitely, message him in the past. But there's so much to bring up here. But Road Dogg, the last time, was the head writer. And so he approved a lot of stuff. But he also wrote a lot of stuff, I think. But he was probably honed in on some in particular things. But I don't know exactly. But what I do know is that a lot of the stuff that the Road Dogg did was just ruined. Like, it was just, or it was rolled up and destroyed or, changed around or last minute plugs were pulled. I don't remember what story exactly it was now. But what I do know is there was something big that was going down. And it might have been AJ Styles. It might have been with Jinder Mahal. It was something was going on. I can't stand it that I can't remember what it was. I remember being so pissed off. But basically Road Dogg had this whole thing mapped out of this idea that was going on, and there was about to be a payoff for it, and they were starting down a road of something, and people, for the most part, were into it a little bit, right? Things were rolling a little bit. And then all of a sudden, it just did a 180. And people made fun of it. They were like, well, this was stupid. Or like, why would you do this for that? Or whatever else. And basically, they would pull the rug out from underneath the Road Dogg. And I don't know if this is Vince or other people. Probably Vince. Probably a lot of other people. And then there was one time even when I believe it might have been The Undertaker. Something about The Undertaker was supposed to show up on, I don't know, SmackDown or something. Something was going on with The Undertaker or with somebody. And then the whole thing got derailed or changed in the last minute. And I remember the Road Dogg, he either tweeted out something or he might have messaged me. I don't remember. But he said something like to the effect of, well, that's news to me. Or like, I think we might have said on Twitter, like, why would this, what blah, blah, blah. Why is this going on if this was happening? Well, I don't understand this at all. And I think Road Dogg tweeted out something to the effect of, this was news to me too. So basically, like, one hand didn't know what the other hand was doing. And, I actually give Dogg a little bit of credit because I would have snapped my mind. Like, I would have had to be really careful because I'm the type of person that if you're telling me that it's my job to do something a certain way, but then you're undermining everything I'm doing, that's like the worst. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you're in charge of this, but not really, because I'm going to change everything on you. Like, that is so enraging. Or you can't do this, but then tell people why didn't he just do it? Stuff like that. It's like, I'm either in charge or I'm not in charge. What's going on? So, I don't remember what it was exactly. And there's several examples, but we're talking about going back several years. We're talking about going back. So I don't remember everything that was going on, but I just know that there were some things that were, what is that? I feel like the heat's louder than usual down here. I don't know what it is. Maybe I think it's my system volume. But, yeah, it's just weird. Let me see if I can fix it. All right, guys, in the chat, what's up? What do you think? Was AEW better than Vengeance or Vengeance better than AEW? What did everybody think? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the levels. It's some kind of weird leveling here that's going on. Lewis Money, how you doing, dude? Buddy Matthews is a jobber, says JJ Bloodbath. Well, I mean, maybe. What did he do exactly the other night at AEW? Because I didn't see Buddy Matthews' match. So let me know what he did because I missed it. Maybe it was good. I don't know. I think it's the fan. think it's like right on the microphone. Jack, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, it's weird that you got the alert tonight because I feel like nobody did, but I didn't get it on the tester. What's in Road Dogg's drink again? I don't know. Tony Storm won the title back. What did everybody think of that? I'm gonna put the poll up right now. Tony Storm, AEW versus, and I'm calling it AEW versus NXT Grand Slam or Vengeance. What was better? We'll get some other options. Neither were good. Both. It's a tie. All right, there we go. Okay. So we're going to try to get more people in here. There's only 57 people here, but click the like button, guys, if you can. King Hueco Mundo. AEW was good. NXT was okay. Nothing major. Last match was good. I thought the best stuff about NXT was that Vakira's opening match, that Women's North American Championship match was great. I really loved that. And that's the first thing I saw, so that got me going. So that was huge for NXT because I'm somebody who's been casually watching NXT, and if you don't hook me in, or if I'm not like, oh, this is fun, let me keep watching, I won't at this point with NXT. So I was like, this has got to be good. I've got, it's got to hook me, and I started watching it like, yeah, I probably won't be watching this too long. I've got so much stuff to do and so many other things to do, and but no, it hooked me right in. So they did a great job. Those women in that women's match did a wonderful job. I was off to the races watching NXT the other night on Vengeance, and the next match was pretty good. Everything was really pretty good. There wasn't anything that was like terrible, but the things I loved the most was that. I did not like the end of the strap match. I thought, jocking the strap into the nuts, and I don't, somebody tell me if I'm wrong, was the referee's back turned to that? Because, well, first of all, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't be no disqualification anyway. But that's what kind of made me go, why is the referee's back turned? Yeah, I hear a humming. Oh, there it goes. I figured it out. I knew I heard a humming. Like, am I going crazy? I never have feedback on my show. I figured it out. There was a little thing touching the soundboard. You guys hear that? Now, you guys heard it too, probably. Unbelievable. I'm sorry. I fixed that, guys. That was enraging. So the strap match, which I always think strap matches are really hard to do. There's been a few good ones over the years, actually. I think Savio Vega and Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the day was really good. That's one of the best strap matches I ever saw. And obviously there's a couple sort of really good ones from back in the 80s and shit, but recently there hasn't been a whole lot of them. I think Cody and Brody had a decent one over in AEW, but strap matches just not. Well, those are actually a dog collar matches. They're all whatever, strap, dog collar, whatever they are. It just wasn't that good. But the ending was really bad to me. I did not like the ending, and people were mad about it. And I just said, well, they're trying to get this guy up and coming. I mean, he didn't cheat, but he used a low blow, which is like cheating. He used a poor tactic to win the match. So people were melting down over that, but it is what it is. And then the end of the night had a lot of energy. People are freaking out about Jordynne Grace. Why isn't Jordynne Grace on the main freaking roster? Why don't you put her up on the main roster? Well, it's doing it again. Yeah, you can't put her up on the main roster because it's WrestleMania season, and if you put Jordynne Grace up on the main roster, then there's like nothing for her to do come WrestleMania, and then it's going to be an outcry about why is she doing nothing? There's already a million things for everybody else to be doing. For her to come in at this point, this late, then you're going to have people wondering why she's got nothing to do, and then you're going to have, if she does do something, you're going to be wondering why other women got bumped off the card or got bumped down a notch. And so Jordynne Grace just isn't like something for her to do right now. So put her in NXT, let her have some great matches with some people that you want to see her with anyway, right? Let her do her thing for a little bit. Let people start to know who she is. And then after WrestleMania, you call her up, and then it's a big call-up, right? And now you can start fresh storylines with her, or fresh whatever you want to do with her, just matches in general. But there's not that annoyance or that stigma of the clamoring of, oh my God, why isn't she in WrestleMania? What has she got to do at WrestleMania? Or even if they just held her off, well, now she's doing nothing. So this allows her to be active and be doing something, can contribute to NXT, as opposed to bringing her up in the main roster, where right now there's so much other stuff going on that it's like, why let her get lost in all of that when all these other things are going on? So I just think I think it's a great call of putting her in NXT. I don't think you should call her up to the main roster because of WrestleMania season. And they've got enough going on right now where they're trying to figure out how to write in or get stories built or get matches built for WrestleMania, for Elimination Chamber time, and kind of get that ball rolling all around everywhere. And so because of that, bringing another person in, I don't know. I mean, there's some cases if they didn't have anything for anybody to do and they were lacking in some way, yeah, then you could call her up. And it's like, hey, we don't have enough women, we don't have enough people to do some things we want to do. We need a fresh face. We need an opponent for somebody. We need something big or whatever. Hey, let's have Jordynne Grace versus somebody else to open WrestleMania, and maybe it's a big deal. That's something you could still do. So even if she is in NXT, if they need another match on WrestleMania night 1, 2, whatever, you could put Jordynne Grace in a match. It could be for the NXT Championship. They could put it on WrestleMania. They don't need to do that. They probably won't do that, but I'm just saying that possibility exists if they really wanted to do it. And they could. That's actually a good idea. I hope they do something like that, but you don't have to do that. So anyway, Toni Storm won the other night. I thought that was fine. I thought it was good. I got to watch it again. I got to be honest. I watched it really pixelated. I lost my, I'm watching on some illegal TV stream or whatever, and, it is what it is. I don't have TV anymore. I don't have anything anymore, and, things are bad, but I'm trying. Kurtman, how you doing, man? King of Hueco Mundo, Wrestling Radio Australia. What? Roxanne is going to main roster, so Jordynne helps fill the gap. Yeah, there you go, too. I mean, I didn't even think about that. But, yeah, you got other people moving up. And to jump her, it's like you don't want to do that and freak everybody else out. And there's just no reason. I think this is the perfect way to slate her into that. The NXT pay-per-view was okay, nothing major. I really did enjoy what AEW did with their talents, entrances, and the wrestling was a better product. Okay, so AEW was better overall, according to you. Let me look at the poll in a second. But I think Shawn Michaels and the NXT crew did a really good job for the most part. Because, like I said, I went in thinking, well, I'm going to probably turn this off and not watch. And instead, I stuck around and watched the whole thing, And I thought it was a 6 or 7 out of 10 pay-per-view or show or special event or PPE or whatever we're calling them now. So, not bad. You had my interest, which is really hard to do, as a, almost 40-year wrestling fan. Oh, boy. I was supposed to call this commentary thing in a couple of weeks. I don't even think I'm going to do that now. I got to be honest. Let's go to the poll. 40 votes so far. It's a quiet night tonight. We got 93 people watching. That's not bad. We're getting up there. Hit that like button, guys. We might get to it. We need 100 likes, but it's tough on a Sunday at 9:47 p.m. But that doesn't matter. What was better? Grand Slam, 41%. Vengeance. Did I spell Vengeance right? Vengeance. Yeah, I think I did. 27%. Neither were good, 24%. Both, it's a tie, 7%. So 7% of you guys enjoyed them equally, which is about, 4 people or something? 40% preferred Grand Slam. It's still pretty close, though. That's pretty good. I mean, we all won the other day, or this weekend. We all won this weekend in one way or another. There's no doubt about it. Pinned to the top of the chat right now is the Streamlabs donation link. If you guys want to donate, Streamlabs is linked on the top as always. Great crowd last night in a small venue, says E-Man. Yeah, let's talk about that. That Vengeance crowd was great. they amplified matches, especially that women's North American Championship match to open the night. They amplified the atmosphere. I think they fed the wrestlers. I think that they fed the viewer like me, because when you can get, as we talk about, when you can get great music and entrances, you can get great promos if need be, and you can get great audience participation and reaction to the moves and matches, all that stuff adds up to making a match be the best it can. If the crowd is dead silent and you have a good match, it's never going to be a 5-star. I don't care what you do. I don't care what the hell you do out there. I would never give a match a 5-star match if I couldn't hear the audience. It doesn't matter how good the match is. How many flip-floppity doo-doos and how much emotion you pour into it. I don't know if I could ever give something a 5/5 or a 10 out of 10 if there was no crowd. It just doesn't work like that. Presentation is key. The way the show starts, the way the match starts, the way the wrestlers look. I think the wrestlers are a little too produced right now, some of the women especially, with their little looks as they come to the ring and staring around. It's almost like too good. There's not enough rawness to them. There's a little bit of this. Every one of them has to have this, ooh, look, I'm the sexy entrance, and then I make these looks that I make at everything. And I know that that's what you're going for and it's what you want to do, but it's starting to just kind of like all look very similar. Like I've got to look as erotic as possible as I come to the ring, and then, but I'm going to wrestle soon. It's weird how that is, but I think some of the women could use some separation from that, but maybe I'm looking too deep into that potentially. But Ad says last time WWE came to Brisbane was in 2017 for a house show. Yeah, I do. I remember that, but I wasn't there, but I remember when that was going on. And yeah, so AEW versus NXT over the weekend. It was recently WWE has been winning most polls. Whenever I put up a poll on NXT, it wins. WWE wins, NXT wins. This is the first win I've seen for AEW, in a while. Gotta be that's interesting. That's interesting. But Road Dogg is back on SmackDown. We're going to talk about that. I know we already talked a little bit about it, but I've got a lot to say on that because I really don't. I really need to caution people against hating Road Dogg or getting negative about that yet, because I am telling you guys, when Road Dogg was in charge the last time, it's not even right. Like Road Dogg was the head writer at the time, but I'm telling you that he's the head writer, but meanwhile there were like 7 other hands reaching into the pile of things that he was doing and pulling out of the pile and putting their own things back in the pile. Like I swear to you on everything, and I don't know that much, I gotta be honest. It's not like Road Dogg ever told me. I know that back then, I had some communication with Road Dogg, but I'm not some insider person. Is that fucking thing doing it again? Swear to God. Yep, there it goes. I'm not some insider person, that knows anything that much. I mean, I just know that, based on what was said, that this guy was not allowed to do everything he wanted to do, and even when he had things going on, they would pull the rug from underneath him several times, several examples. And yeah, there were some things that I don't like, and I would argue with him about it even, but who am I, But I'm just saying that, he really, some of the really good stuff came from Road Dogg, and some bad stuff came from Road Dogg. We've all got bad and good stuff, but the problem for me is 30% of the bad stuff that came from Road Dogg, okay, whatever. 30% of the good stuff that came from Road Dogg was really good, but he got no credit for it. That's 60%. And the other 40% was stuff that was completely changed around or screwed over from him. And so we never got the full Road Dogg. So we got a guy who was kind of learning on not learning on the fly, but kind of learning on the fly in that role from the very beginning. And also, again, having things, brought to him and made to be for him and changed on him left and right all the time. So this is going to be maybe a different situation. Also, I don't think he's the head writer now. I think he's like the co-writer with somebody else. I don't know who else is writing. I got to look that up and find that out maybe and see what the dynamic of the writing team is at this point. I would really love to know what the dynamics of the writing team is. It fascinates me. Like, how does it work? The two different writers, how are we doing things? Are they bringing stuff to one person? Are both teams creating stuff like, hey, you've got the first hour and a half, I've got the other hour and a half of SmackDown. Let's figure it out. How are things going? Road Dogg has like 2 or 3 guys who help write, and then they come up with stuff, and then he brings it. The other guy has it. How is that working? I don't know. What are the dynamics of the writing team in the writer's room and what they're doing? Love to know what that is. Maybe someday we can find out early. I mean, that'd be nice. I can give a little more clarity on things then. That'd be nice to do that. But 919's on the phone. Hello.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, baby? How you doing tonight? You want to get weird and do something strange?
I was going to talk about Road Dogg. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think he was just doing what he was doing. I just think Bully Ray's a fucking piece of shit bully is what he is. He looks like one. I see how he laughs. He looks like a fucking bully.
Damn. So what does Bully Ray have to do with this?
Because Bully Ray's the reason why Road Dogg had talked about it, and it was brought up in the podcast, right?
You know what? I didn't hear whatever you're talking about. I didn't hear about it. So tell me right now. I don't know what you're saying. Go ahead.
Anyway,
I mean, we know what Bully Ray did to me, but I think Bully Ray and Road Dogg are friends.
I know, but they were talking about it, and I was looking at one of your podcasts, one of your latest videos, or earlier videos from a year ago, and I was like, I don't think Road Dogg is bad for what he did, but I think Bully Ray's the reason why this happened. I mean, he's a piece of shit, I think. What
the hell? But I'm trying to figure out what do you mean? What does Bully Ray have to do with Road Dogg? Explain this. I don't remember what you're talking about.
I believe Road Dogg was on the podcast talking about you, and then Bully Ray, and in turn, I think he mentioned Bully Ray in backstage, skirmish, you and him or something like that.
So are you talking about? So, well, okay. So, but Bully Ray, but just to be clear with everybody, like Bully Ray has nothing to do with the writing and didn't bully Road Dogg. What do you? I think you're making it sound like Bully Ray did something to Road Dogg. Do you know what I mean?
I'm talking about you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think Bully Ray. Yeah, he kind of bullied me, but listen. You can only be bullied if you let yourself be bullied. Here's the thing. I was screwing around with Bully Ray online. First of all, Road Dogg sent Bully Ray after me during a Saturday night's main event, or no.
You raised a piece of shit.
Omar Fakarani.
Tough times for me, Joe. I've been dealing with deep depression since coming out of the closet to my best friend Jeremy.
What?
I told him he's more than a friend, and he should be my lover. He laughed and said that's gross.
Oh my God.
So now I have no friends. I hate this.
You know what? Make new friends that are going to accept you for who you are, Omar Fakarani. Thank you for the donation for $4. But no, man, go get some new friends that accept you for who you are, man, and you'll be good, okay? Everybody loves you. God loves you. And if somebody can't accept you for who you are, then get some new friends. I know that's hard and that sucks. I'm sorry, because you're never going to be able to replace that friend potentially, but maybe they'll come around. Maybe they'll realize they're being crappy to you and they'll come around for you. But let's go back to your points. Okay, listen, Bully Ray, yes. Road Dogg sent them after me as a joke. He thought my kid was with me and he wasn't. I was there by myself, and Bully Ray was trying to have a little fun, and so that was just a fun little thing. I loved that. And then I saw Bully Ray at an independent show. I was doing commentary, and I said I was actually doing stuff in the back, and they brought water into the back area, and all the wrestler legends were out front, and they were stuck there, and nobody was servicing them or serving them. And normally, like when you got a big wrestler or a celebrity or somebody, it's like you take care of them. Booker T was sitting by himself. He couldn't get out of the line, and Scott Hall was over there too, and then Bully Ray and Velvet Sky and everybody, and nobody was serving them or helping them or doing anything. It was like they were just whatever, which is fine. I mean, that's not my job to do anything, but I'm going back and forth, and I saw the water stuff, so I'm like, oh, you guys, everybody need water? And a couple of the guys were like, hell yeah, bro, if you got, well, thank you. Because they're stuck there and sweaty and shit. And so I go down the line. You need water, Scott? You need water? I didn't stop to be a fan and mark out. You know what I mean? I've been doing this a long time myself. I've been calling indie shows for 15 years. But I just, Scott, you need water? And I've never actually talked to Scott Hall before, so I was like, this is cool. Razor Ramon. Hey, Scott, you need water? Hey, this guy, you need water? Bully Ray. I was like, Bully, you need water? You guys need water? Don't fucking talk to me. Don't fucking talk to me. Get the fuck away. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I was just trying to get, like, I didn't know this was going to be a thing. I wasn't even really thinking about the goofiness on Twitter. Like, I made a couple of videos and a couple of posts at him throughout the past 2 months, and it was only 4 posts total. It was like a couple tweets like, you think you're a big deal. One of them was like, this is your career in the toilet, and I flushed the toilet. It was it was stupid stuff that, like, obviously I'm a dumb, like, internet jerk-off Mark guy, and but Bully Ray was like, I don't know if he was dead serious, wanted to fuck with me, or really hurt me, or if he's just like, watch me make this mark, like, watch what I do to this mark. I don't know which one of those things it is. I think it was that. I think it was that he was like, watch me, this guy thinks he's a hot shit, watch how scared he is in a minute. I'm assuming that's what he was thinking. So he brings me in the back, which is funny because he yelled at me, and I walked away. I said, okay, I'm sorry. Because I was like, damn, I didn't know it was that serious. I figured he'd think, well, this guy's a loser. Who cares? He's some loser guy. He's never going to make it in wrestling. He's been doing this forever. Although Bully Ray said I didn't know anything about wrestling, even though I wrestled for years. But whatever. The bottom line is, I figured he thought I'm just a pathetic, stupid person, so I'm not even going to bother. But no, he was like flipping out.
Listen. Did you watch the other show for WWE they got for Performance Center or whatever, trying to get it into NXT?
Let me tap this off and we'll get to that. And that's really good. I told you, man, that LFG show is going to be really good. I'm telling you, I have not watched it yet, but I can't wait to see it. But my problem is I'm worried that there's plants and stuff, and so how real is it? So that we'll see how real it is. But just to wrap this story up, the bottom line is Bully Ray later on, like an hour later, was like, hey, Joe. And I walked up behind the curtain, and he yelled at me. Everybody knows this story. And, he yelled at me and was like, what do you fucking think you're doing, and stuff like that. And I never tell people what we talked about because I feel like it was, it was some kind of just for me convo. But the bottom line is he could have done it in front of the whole wrestling locker room, even if he wanted to just laugh about it. Even if he just wanted to be like, watch me embarrass this fucking loser. He could have done it in front of all these wrestlers and been like, haha, you fucking, loser. How about that? But he didn't do that. So I actually do respect Bully Ray, and I always did. And I was a fan of his when I was younger. I don't care, if maybe he is a bully, maybe he isn't. I'm sure he's a little bit of a bully to people who are shitheads. If he's a bully to people that aren't bad people, or he bullies people that don't deserve it, maybe that's a different conversation. But to me, live the gimmick, live the fucking gimmick. And he, I don't have a problem. He didn't really do anything to me. It's not that big a deal.
Well, the point I was roughing up to the show, he's on the show, and I'm watching a clip of him, like, berating this guy trying to get into the NXT or in the Performance Center, just berating him. And I'm like,
that guy that comes off as like a shithead? He was easy on him. Bully Ray? Bubba Ray Dudley, dude, in the LFG, he's easy on the backwards hat guy who's kind of a douchebag.
Bully, I can't remember.
He's like a prick. The guy's a prick. The guy's such a prick that I feel like he's a plant.
Okay.
I'm telling you. I swear to God to you. But, like, he's easy on him. In fact, Undertaker stepped in and said something because Bully Ray was like, no, I'm going to tell you like it is, okay? Go away now. And then Undertaker was like, no, wait, I'm going to say something. And I'm just saying, like, I think Bubba Ray Dudley Bully Ray was easy on him. I think in like 10, 20 years ago, he might have been in the ring with him.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, well, you helped clarified it for me what you think about Valeri. That changes my perspective about him because I didn't know what to think.
He could be a dick, but I think he's fun, man. I feel bad that he doesn't like me, and maybe he does, but maybe he doesn't. I feel like everybody hates me, so who knows? I don't know who likes me or what, but I'm going to assume that he doesn't hate me that much, because if he did, he would have done that in front of those people. He would have been like, "Watch this," you know what I mean? Instead, he was like, I don't want to do that to you." You know, so yeah, he's a little bit of a dick, but you know what? He's earned the legend status to be a dick. If some douchebag online like me is talking shit, you know, he's earned the right to do that. But what was the next point? Road Dogg. Let's go back to Road Dogg. What were you saying about that? Was the second part?
Like, you helped clarify what you were saying all about Road Dogg and what I said about Road Dogg. Like he basically talked about it in the podcast. You know, I didn't really. I think Road Dogg was actually okay in my opinion, because just like you said, he's positive and he's negative. Yeah, you know,
Road Dogg is. I almost feel like Road Dogg is like the third guy. Like if you have Vince McMahon, well, maybe the fourth guy, Vince McMahon, Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, and Road Dogg. Those guys are all in that creative atmosphere together, I feel like. But, you know, whether that's good or bad.
I hate to say it, but I miss Vince now.
You know, I miss the Vince McMahon that used to filter the ideas of other people during the Attitude Era. Like, I miss that a lot, because I think he was really good at that. But the Vince McMahon that was in charge during when Road Dogg was a writer is a guy who really neutered the ideas of everybody who was writing. Like everybody who wrote stuff. I mean, you can, there's ex-writers who have done podcasts, wrote, you know, articles and things, and they've all said, you know, this idea is what I had, and they said no, and then they altered my idea, and then people are like, that's way better. Why didn't they do that? I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but you know, some of these ideas that you think are going to be so good wouldn't have been good. But then some of the ideas that you would think aren't good might have been good, because part of it comes down to the execution of the wrestlers too. So, you know, you can write something down on paper and you're not really sure how it's going to turn out until you see it. It's almost like AI nowadays. You can make an AI video or tell an AI to draw a picture, and until you see it, you really don't know what it's going to be 100%. But you had a pretty good idea and you shaped it. So, you know, we'll see how things go, but I'm assuming this time Road Dogg is going to have a little bit more range to be able to, you know, do what he wants to do and put those ideas out there, and we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll call Joe Cronin. How about that? You know, SmackDown, 3 hours SmackDown. They are up against it in a dying time slot on a show that's added an hour to it now, on a network that's limited compared to where SmackDown was before. Bro, there is a lot that they're competing against as a writing team and a writer's room on SmackDown now. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, and they lost a lot of viewership in the past month and a half.
Yeah. Yep. But you know what? And if they can rock and roll, they can get back. I'm convinced they can get 200, 300, 400,000 people back if they can rock and roll. But they've got to really rock and roll, and I don't know if they can do that.
They can't play safe.
But unfortunately you can't. I don't like that, because you can't say that, because unfortunately it's not that you can't play it safe. It's unfortunately the whole company kind of plays it safe. So
because of the children donations and stuff like that.
Well, no, I don't know about. It's just that it's the pressure from the business. It's like, put it this way. Back when the Attitude Era was launched, they launched the Attitude Era in a way because they were literally running out of money. The company was going down, and they had nothing left to lose. Let's throw it all at the wall and be insane. But right now, business is booming and better than ever. So taking risks, they're few and far between. So you need to maximize interest among current wrestling viewers by being like fully utilizing your maximum potential. Because right now we are in business era I've just been calling this the business era at this point because that's all it is. They're making more money than ever, and it's not really the best I've ever seen, but the roster's pretty good. I don't blow it like everybody else. Like, this is the greatest roster they've ever had. It's unbelievable. Get the fuck out of here. But
right. I don't think that either.
But
no.
It is a really good roster, and if you had this roster and you maybe opened up the TV 14 stuff and the writing a little bit better, then maybe we could get close to that discussion. But to me, it's not there.
They can't do it because of the Cancer Children Hospital stuff. Jude or whatever.
Listen, I don't think it's that. They were visiting kids in cancer hospitals when women were taking their tits out on Raw. You know, I don't think that. I don't think it's that, but I think it's all of the other corporation stuff. You know,
it's the audience. It's the audience of like youth, adult, elderly, like who watches it at that age.
Well,
and I think they aim for the younger kids.
That's it. What you're saying makes more sense. It's more about that. You're trying to mass appeal to everybody. Like the WWE is trying to be like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's like, how do we make adults love this, but kids love this, and it's available for kids? You know, how do you get the whole market of everybody? Because the minute you go to an R rating or something, you've eliminated like a quarter or half of the market. Like, how many cartoons have you seen like they're the top grossing movies now, no doubt about it, because people aren't going to the movies in the same way they used to, and movies have been so bad that a lot of movies people aren't going to see because movies suck so bad now. But families still want to go. Families still want to go to the movies, so when a family movie comes out, they all go, mother, son, daughter, everybody, and the movie destroys in the box office.
I got a recommendation that's actually a good one. It came out a month ago. It's on rental. It's a Mel Gibson movie. I like it. It's called Flight Risk.
Yeah, see
it's really good.
But that wasn't in the movie theater.
That was in the movie theater. I watched it in the theater.
Oh, it was in the theater?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It went back on the streaming platforms.
What's it rated?
A month later, rated R. It's got Mark Wahlberg in it.
Yeah, see, there you
go. Mark Wahlberg plays this dark, like fucking sick person. I've never seen Mark Wahlberg like this before.
Yeah,
he's like a sicko.
He plays like the character from not really, but he plays like, you remember at the end of The Departed or whatever?
No, well, actually, there is a role where he played in his younger days.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 98, 2000, something like that. He played as a high school boyfriend or something like that, and he was like a psychopath.
Right. Well, bro,
Fear.
I don't remember what it is. Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't see it, but I do remember like some of that. It's like the Robin Williams movie with the photo thing. I never saw that one either, but everybody said that was creepy. I'll let you go, man. Thank you for the call.
Okay.
All right, brother. Good call. What a great call, man. Rapid fire. Yeah, so at least we get those misconceptions. I was like, what Bully Ray have to do with the Road Dogg? What? I think they're friends. I'm pretty sure that's why Bully Ray was like sour on me. I loved fucking Bully Ray. He must have been dying laughing so bad. Like, look at this loser. Joe's freaking out. SmackDown gets about the same rating on average NBA gets. If AEW gets the kind of ratings, everyone would be saying that they're doing great. Yeah, I mean, if AEW is doing 1.5 million, then they would be doing the best they've ever done. So they would be doing great. But WWE, you expect SmackDown was doing 3 million and then doing 2.4 million and 1.8 million, on Fox, right? So, and that's a little bit of a cheat because there's more viewership possible on Fox, right? So right there, they're not going to be as big. So you give them that mulligan, right? But so WWE it's expected to do better and expected more of WWE. So unfortunately for WWE, they need to hit a certain point too. Like, what are the SmackDown ratings now? Let me try to figure this out real quickly. Hold on a second. Let me ask. What are the SmackDown ratings of the last year listed out? Let's see if Grok can list all the ratings for me. Oh, we got it. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. SmackDown ratings. February 2nd, 2024. This is about last year. 2.4 million, 2.5 million, 2.3 million, 2.4 million. So now we get down. Last episode on Fox, 2 million. They were down to 2 million on the last episode of Fox. That's crazy. 2.6 million the week before. They launched on the USA Network at 1.7 million. The next week, 1.7 million. So now, what is SmackDown at? They did 2.4 million in November 22nd and then the next week. And now they're at 1.4 million. So SmackDown is all over the place, but they've hit 2.4 million. I don't know why that is. There's got to be a reason for that. I don't remember why. But they've gone down to as low as 1.2 million on SmackDown, but they've kind of petered back to 1.5. So their average is about 1.5 right now. So you ask me what are my views for SmackDown? My goal for SmackDown is to bring that rating back to 2 million. Okay? That's my goal. We know that Monday Night Raw sunk down to about a 1.6 million on USA Network, right? So my goal is I don't want to be SmackDown 1.6 million on USA Network. I don't want to be stuck at that same number when I know that, we started out at 1.7. We can go to 2 million. We know that. And we know that on Fox we were doing high 2.3, 2.4s. So, yeah, realistically, where do you want to be? Probably 1.5 to 1.8. Somewhere in there, realistically, that's what you're going to be at, right, for SmackDown. But me, if I'm writing for SmackDown, if I'm in charge of SmackDown, if I'm at SmackDown, my goal is we're going to make this goddamn show at least 2 million. We're going to get it to 2 million. People are going to be talking about it. There's going to be buzz then because of that, and we're going to do really good. We're going to go up. We are going to go from 1.5 to 1.7 to 1.8 to 1.9 to 2 million to 2.1, and then from there on, we'll see what happens. There's only a certain amount of wrestling fans that are left right now. And then once you get to that 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 mark, and things die down and slow down and you're stuck at 1.9s and 2.2s and whatever you're at, then how do we grow the audience? How do we start growing a wrestling audience? How do we start mass appealing to people and creating new fans? How do we do that? And maybe I'm not in charge of that as a company, but I'm gonna try to do it on my show SmackDown. And whether that's YouTube Shorts engagement, engaging with artists, engaging with movies, engaging with production, whatever it is, we got to mass appeal to people. What can I do on the show that can turn into something viral on the internet that people are going to share, people are going to talk about? How can we send gifts to gigantic streamers who are going to react to the gifts and then send them a couple quick little videos or something to promote? How do we cross-promote this whole thing and market the whole thing that we get this cross-pollination? How much are we getting from all this? Right? How much can we drive this whole thing? Is it making no difference? A little difference? Some difference? How much is actually just making the show really, really, really good is getting people to invest in the product? So there's a lot of things that you want to be doing to try to drive that and get it going. But one of the problems that WWE seems to have is they do some of that outside marketing and some of those campaigns and those shorts, and they get viral things, and they do some of that, and they reach out to content creators and influencers and YouTubers and podcasters and famous people and all these things, and they cross-pollinate. But then the product isn't that good, or people don't connect with it or get it. They watch it for a second and they go, that was interesting, huh? And then after that, they're like, I don't really, whatever. And they move on. It happens in UFC too. People come and go watching UFC, stop watching UFC, whatever. And so how do you hook new viewers? And, one of the ways is the way that you've always hooked wrestling fans. People just happen to see it. They see it and they go, what is this? I'm so interested in this. But the problem is now there's such an oversaturation of wrestling that a lot of people already have seen it, and they've kind of like made up their mind that they don't like it or that they're not really that interested in it. They're like, oh, yeah, wrestling. Yeah. Any next thing, So how do you get a hold of people that are like, yeah, I've heard of wrestling, but man, what am I watching right now? Yeah, I've heard of wrestling, and it always kind of seemed whatever to me, but what is this? How do you do that? And then at the same time, how do you grab the 5-year-olds to 10-year-olds who haven't really watched wrestling, heard of it, or don't really know much at all, so that they see it for the first time? Because those, like me, when I was 6 years old or 5 years old and said, what is that? Because those kids don't have an outside influence. Those kids haven't been watching and hearing about wrestling for years, and they're numb to it or don't care about it. They're brand new to it still. 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old. How do you appeal to those kids and to those people? Is it video games? Is it content on YouTube or something like that? Got to figure it out. Got to make it happen. Got to expose people to it at a rapid pace. And then you've got to have good characters and good stories, because if they do look your way and it's not good, or it's not exciting, or it doesn't stand out, or it doesn't interest them, they're quickly up on to the next thing, and you that guy may never become a wrestling fan. So, and attention spans are way down compared to before. Omar Fakarani, thank you for the $4 donation earlier. If you guys want to donate, please use Streamlabs pinned to the top of the chat right now. You guys can click that link and donate live to the show. Feel free to do that if you can. We would love it. And we'll definitely play your donation on the air. Tony Storm won the other night. What did everybody think about that? I'll read the chat. Road Dogg's back as a writer. I think that's actually a really good thing, and I think people need to take it easy on Road Dogg, because Road Dogg had his nuts clipped before by many people, including maybe VKM over there, and so many other things. I can give you countless examples of the times that he was surprised the way things would go that he had started as a story, or the story that he wanted to do that was flipped over onto something else, didn't look good, and he went, well, I don't know what to tell you. And I can tell you some of the things that really worked really well that you guys loved that Road Dogg did. And then I can tell you some things that weren't very good that he did. Whatever. But the guy isn't trash. Not at all. There's a perception that the guy is trash. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's not. I can tell you. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this time around. I would say judge him on what he does in the next year or two. And take it easy. I don't know why, but he really does get some of the most hate. He really does. Out of anybody. For whatever reason. And maybe they're putting him in this role to scapegoat him. Maybe they're like, you know what? Yeah, SmackDown hasn't been very good the last, since it went to USA Network. It's not been that good. We got to turn things around, but we don't have time for that right now. Put Road Dogg over there. And then when we want to turn things around, we'll fire him, and then we'll go to the thing we want to do. So maybe they're using it as a scapegoat, but I don't think so. I'd like to think that that's not the case. But I don't know. There's something suspect about it a bit, but I don't know. I think legitimately the guy is good, and he's an asset to anywhere he is. I'm telling you right now. AEW is ridiculous for not grabbing him when he was a free agent. Like, they should have grabbed him. They've grabbed quite a few other people that are trash, and yet they haven't grabbed Road Dogg. So that's on them. They missed out. Whatever. But we'll see what he does. And like I said, let Road Dogg cook. Let him cook. We'll see. Man, I've been talking a lot. Feel free to, yes, we need the donations. We don't have a top dono yet. We have a $4 one, but if it's over $20, I'll put it up on the screen. I'll put you up top. Since I don't have a job anymore, you guys are my bosses. You guys pay my salary. And right now, I'm making $4 an hour. Let's go to Keith Richardson. SmackDown has terrible ratings. Cord cutting has zero to do with it. Exactly. Who cares about cord cutting? I don't give a damn. The ratings still come out every week, and we have ratings on what people are watching them. So I don't care about ratings, and they're down. There's still millions of people watching in the traditional fashion, and so it's still a measurable stat, a very, very big measurable stat, sample size. So I don't care about that argument. There's no doubt the TV has changed. We all know this, but we still have a way of measuring it week to week, so it's viable. Saying that that's not viable or doesn't matter, that's ridiculous. Who do you think are plants? Who are plants? Who are we talking about? You guys are having a conversation. I don't know what you're saying or what you're talking about. Yeah, Bully Ray and Velvet Sky did break up. I don't know what happened, but yeah, LFG is really good, people are saying. I thought it was going to be pretty good. My only problem is if they're plants. I'm concerned that backwards hat guy who's kind of a prick could be a plant, but he could be real. He could be legit. It's just, when you do a show like that, you got to have some kind of controversy. If I was them and I was filming a show like that, I would just bring in like 100 people and have them face the judges and cut a promo, do that sort of stuff. And, anybody who stands out, whether they stand out for being terrible, stand out for being really good, stand out for being pricks, stand out for one reason or the other, I'd get all of them, 10 or 12 or 15 of them, and I'd put them all on the TV show because I think that would make for the maximum interest. But, if you're only picking everybody that seems like they really would be a good wrestler, then I feel like you wouldn't get as good a content out of it, even though that may be the more appropriate thing to do to maximize the ability to get prominent athletes and a real viable WWE superstar. But, in the end, I don't know. But I haven't watched the show yet, so I can't really judge it that harshly. But it looks really interesting, and I feel like I'm more interested in LFG right now than I am in SmackDown. So that's why I say SmackDown has a lot of work to do to get people's interest. But also, SmackDown does have people's interest. SmackDown has about 1.5 million people's interest. Week to week, they're going to watch for the most part, and they're interested in what the product is, good or bad or whatever. They're watching those 1.5 million. But I'm drooling. If I'm a WWE writer, if I'm the Road Dogg, if I'm somebody in the WWE, I am drooling over the idea of turning that 1.5 million into 2.5 million. Like, I want to be at a meeting in 3 to 4 to 5 months, and I want to slap on the board the ratings. And I want to say, how about that? Beat that shit. Beat that shit. When's the last time a rating turned around from a 1.5 million, 1.7 million to a solid 2.5 million for months? When's the last time a significant turnaround like that happened, other than when they went to Fox because they brought in a pool of millions more people to watch the show, right? You went down to a smaller network, the ratings went down, and then you brought the ratings up by 1 million. You know what I'm saying? I want that to happen. I want to be the guy at that meeting. Even if I wasn't the guy at the meeting, I want to be part of that. I want to be in the writer's room as part of that, contributing to that, and I want Road Dogg to walk in there as the leader, slap that on the board and say, let's go, look at this. Everybody's getting a pay raise. And next year, it's going to be the same or bigger. And then do that and be off to the races. And I want people to say, damn, Road Dogg saved SmackDown. It was just blah. And Road Dogg came in and boom. And Road Dogg came in and made some difference. And then if I was Road Dogg, I'd go do a podcast and say, things were different last time I was here. I was the writer, but not really. And, now we're kind of like, hey, man, sky's the limit. There is no ceiling. And, man, look at what we're doing. But also look at the talent we have now, too. You can't ignore that. We got more talent than ever to work with right now than ever before. So what a time. And then I would just say that, and then that would make news everywhere. And then people would start buying in that, wow, you know what? They know what they're doing there. And this stupid talk about, like, SmackDown's not good, and also now, Road Dogg's back, that would all go out the window. Let Road Dogg cook. Let Road Dogg cook. Terry Gordon says SmackDown has averaged 1.3 million for the last couple of months. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. SmackDown has gone down. It's been bad. And Road Dogg just came in just recently as the new co-writer. I think this past couple of weeks or something. And I don't think he was really doing too much because there was other storylines to be wrapped up. So, again, let Road Dogg cook. And we'll see what happens. Guys, remember when I had... Look at all the ideas that I've had. Look at the ideas that I've had that we think they stole, or at least somebody took my ideas. When I said that Cesaro should come out as James Bond in a suit and then rip his clothes off like a maniac, and he's all muscular, and he's like, ah, and he comes down to the ring. And then they did it 4 to 6 weeks. I think it was 6 weeks later they did it. And it was like, what the fuck? But how did that work out? I don't know. How would you judge that? Do you guys think that that was a good idea? Was it bad? Good? Did they bail on it too early? Was it their fault it wasn't good? Was it just not a good idea? Was it something dumb that was kind of cool, but whatever? I don't know. But that was my idea. That was my idea, and it's on video. You guys who have been here know that. You can go watch the video of me ranting about what they should do with Cesaro. And then 8 weeks later, the guy comes out and fucking does it. So somebody took that idea. I don't know who in the company was watching me, but if that was a bad idea, that was my idea. So did I fuck up? I don't know. But I think they bailed on it. I think he should have always come out and ripped the things off. I would have made the entrance better myself. I would have made different music. I would have had this whole James Bond type of thing, or really cool sort of thing that was going on. They kind of did that, but it wasn't quite right, and then they bailed on it. But whatever. Maybe it wasn't good. And if it wasn't, then whatever. And then if you look at my hashtag fact, I used to have a catchphrase on this channel. I would constantly tell people, hashtag fact, hashtag fact. And then all of a sudden, Cesaro's tag team partner,
you raised a piece of shit,
started using that.
$8 an hour.
$8 an hour, baby. There's a $4 donation from Rick Shaw. I'm making $8 an hour, guys. Thank you, sir. Thank you, brother. Rick Shaw, thank you, dude. Look at that, guys. I lost my job. I'm probably going to lose my house and my life. But thank you. Listen, if I'm gone over the next year, I love you all so much. I really do. But I know that I'm screaming and ranting and raving, but they took my hashtag fact. That was stupid, right? That was really dumb. Like, I don't know why they did that, because they did that, and then it just, what was his name? Who was doing that? Natalia's husband was doing that. He took that. And that's why I feel like whoever was writing for them, it was listening to my show. I don't know who that was, but somebody was listening, which is fine, But I wish, I had some much better ideas that they didn't listen to. Like, well, you can listen to those ones. Rick Shaw says, tried to donate, but when I hit PayPal, it just reloads the page. Really? Is there a problem again? Why has this been going on for people? It doesn't happen to me, but people have been saying that. Huh. It works for me on all ends, but I know that other people have had trouble before. Oh, it's working. I don't know, it's working for other people. I don't know, man. But I appreciate the effort. I appreciate it. We can always put the Venmo and the Cash App up. I'll play the donations manually for you if you do the Venmo and the Cash App, but we'll figure it out. 339-226-6610. If you want to call the show, you want to talk about anything, we can do that. Looking up at the chat right now. My kid's at a sleepover. So my oldest is, upstairs playing games and stuff. He's 15 years old now. My oldest is 15. Can you believe that? The hell? And then my daughter's 11, and my youngest is 9. So he's been the one that I hang out with quite a bit. The kids grow up quick, man. It's so crazy how fast they grow up. It's wild. When I started this channel, I only had a 2-year-old. And now I have, there's 3 of them and one's 15. It's crazy. Okay. I'm out of breath. When I do shows solo, man, a couple hours of yelling. Road Dogg also wanted to go to AEW as a writer. Well, yeah, you could have. Did he really want to go? I'm sure. Billy Gunn probably was like, come on over. Get them likes up. Hit that like button. Thank you, man. SmackDown has terrible ratings. Cord cutting has 0 to do with it. We talked about that. Okay, I see where we are in the chat now. There we go. Okay. AEW should hire Joe. Yeah, well, we've talked to Tony Khan before, but, I really would love to be over there doing commentary. That would be my favorite thing, but I've never wanted to be a writer guy. I never applied to writers' positions, although I write stuff and I do write, and I've helped people write TV stuff. I never got credit, and I didn't expect to, but I've written some TV stuff before that I can never talk about, but I do like some. I'm not a good writer. I mean, as far as like grammar and stuff like that, we all know how I write. But it's my ideas that sometimes are okay. Some ideas, but I don't want to be a writer. I don't want to be a booker. I don't want to do that stuff necessarily. But I mean, I certainly would, because then I would go all in and it would be so fun and crazy. But I never look to do that. I'd rather be a commentary guy. I'd rather be doing commentary. rather be the straight guy, play by play. Or I'd rather be the heel and be just a nutcase. Obviously within reason. You can't say certain things, but, But, yeah, that will probably never happen. Actually, it will never happen now. I'm now 39, 40. I keep forgetting how old I am. Although they just hired Joe Testosterone, and Joe Testosterone is like, I think he's like 58, so I don't know. I guess you can hire, but he worked at ESPN and legendary football, he's got a lot of gravitas, What am I? Some guy in my basement? So, Raymond, thank you, though. I wish. I feel like Road Dogg was always helping his boys write with ideas. Yeah, I think he was. I think Road Dogg was helping a lot of people with ideas and doing a lot of good stuff. But, again, I think a lot of Road Dogg's ideas got snipped. They snipped the dog's balls, guys. They snipped the dog's balls. Joe, you'd have to lose weight and clean up your look. Well, yeah. Put on a mask? Yeah, maybe. I don't weigh that much. I weigh 210. I weigh 210 right now. But yeah, I would definitely lose weight. Oh my God. If I was on TV, yeah, dude, I would shave everything if I had to or whatever. I would lose weight for sure. Oh yeah. I'd have to get a haircut the right way. Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. I would look like a different person. I wouldn't be backwards hat guy unless they wanted me to do that. Yeah, no, I'd have to be dressed up. For sure. What the fuck is that damn green light? Oh, yeah, it's on my face. Hang on. It keeps happening. My studio lights are all on the ground because I'm redoing the shelf and my lighting in here, and they're all on the ground, and I guess it was facing at my face. My bad. I probably look like I got a green pimple on my face. I have a punchable face. Especially when I have this crap beard. So, yeah, I'd have to tone it up a little bit, Unbelievable. But, yeah, no, I'll probably be dead soon. Heart attack, some stress, the way things are going. I need a miracle now to come along. I would need a miracle in the next year. God, to save everything. Oh, God, I hate to be so negative, but it is not good. It is not good right now. I can't hide it. This is really bad. My life, this is not good. My life is in jeopardy. Last 5 years just flew by with the pandemic stuff. Yeah, it really has felt like things have flown by. It's kind of crazy, for sure. Congratulations to Road Dogg, says Bro Davidian. Yeah, man. We're going to let Road Dogg cook. We are going to let Road Dogg cook. Joe Excalibur number 2. Yeah. Imagine that. I think one of the things about Morrow, JBL did a great podcast recently with Conrad, and he talked about JBL. I talked about Morrow, and obviously I think Morrow is one of the best guys. A lot of people would say to me, Joe, are you trying to sound like Mauro Ranallo a little bit or whatever? And I'd be like, no, dude, I've always commentated like this. I didn't even know who Mauro Ranallo was until like 2013 or 14. And I had always done commentary the way I do it. And so it's just, I think I just take that as that's nice, but No, but he is one of the best. The problem with Morrow is that Ronaldo's just he's in his own head, and he couldn't make the WWE dates because he's got a lot of health stuff and like, you know, mental illness and things like that, anxiety. He's afraid of his own shadow sometimes, you know, it seems. Unfortunately, it's not funny, but, you know, and he's family issues, and he just the flexibility, the schedule, he couldn't do it seems like. And maybe he didn't get along with somebody or two in the WWE, I don't know. But, you know, he was great. Morrow was so good. He was the best. But one thing that I noticed Morrow didn't do well to me was he couldn't play off a JBL. That was the one thing that and because I never criticized Mauro Ranallo ever. I never thought about criticizing him. I never wanted to. He was just so good in NXT. But he was good with Nigel because he would be like, oh, what a clothesline. You know, this happened. And then Nigel would step in and be like, Mauro, he might have separated his shoulder. Well, absolutely. And now he's going to town with a pile driver. You know, and it's like, it sounds like a sporting event. It was so good. But when he got to SmackDown, I don't think Mauro Ranallo quite had the sports entertainment side of it, even though he has a flamboyant entertainment factor to himself. But sometimes JBL would feed him something, and he just wouldn't respond. But I've also heard other people do that recently, too, where they just don't really respond. And maybe Vince was the one telling them, don't do that, don't respond. I don't know. But, like, JBL would say stuff, and I'd be, like, begging in my head, Morrow, say, why the hell would you say something like that? You know, and JBL could be like, well, what? You know, he's a moron, you know. And it's like there was no banter ever. There was no, like, if you talked about Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan, there was the opposite of that, the polar opposite of that, of JBL throwing in something, Morrow had no serve back whatsoever. And sometimes it just was obvious. Morrow would say something to the camera and to all of you, and then say, right, JBL, you know, and then JBL would be like, well, Morrow, you know, I think you might be right about that, but also something about that is, let's not forget the fact that he's a skeevy SOB, and what he did last week, this guy probably run away from the match before he ever has it. And Morrow would just be like, well, coming up next is, and it was like he said nothing ever to JBL. I feel like maybe it happened, I missed it. And it was like JBL just gave you that, and then you did nothing with it. He was all focused on, I call matches play-by-play. It's almost as if JBL wasn't there. And Mauro Ranallo was like a robot. But his play-by-play was anything but robotic. It was great. But as far as the other stuff, that was all an illusion. Morrow couldn't break out of the bubble of the play-by-play guy. That's what I got out of watching him, and I love Morrow. And sometimes I would think, man, I wish I was there. I would have said this to JBL. Or I would have said this so JBL could serve it back. Or JBL was trying to set something up, and Morrow has no idea what to do with that. And whether that's because someone's screaming in his ear or whatever, I don't know. And nowadays, I feel like sometimes Pat McAfee doesn't know how to serve up some things. Pat McAfee is great, though, and he does a lot of dynamic stuff that makes things feel a little bit more fun and free-floating, but he's more of like a cheerleader guy. Whatever. These are like nitpicks in a million, you know? Again, guy sitting in his basement, loser, pathetic person sitting in his basement talking like this. But that being said, here we are at 10:41 at night on a Sunday. I should probably get out of here because I'm stupid. So thank you guys. Let me see what. We've already played this video on the air, Welsh. I think, but I don't know, let's hear the audio, I guess. We've played the Bully Ray confrontation with this guy before, but I don't know. You sent it to me on Twitter. I don't know if it's a different version, a longer version. I don't know what kind of copyrights WWE will give me on LFG because I think it's on A&E. I have a pretty good deal with the WWE lawyers where, you know, they won't mark a lot of my content as long as it's reasonable. The WWE lawyers have been always been really great to me. I really like them. But I don't know if A&E has something to say about this, and so I don't know. But I'll play a little bit of the audio. Let's see.
I got kicked in the head, and all I'm hearing is, Oh, he got knocked out by a girl. I have a message for you. Hey, yo, you got Snapchat? Yeah, man.
Oh, I haven't seen all this Welsh. I don't know who this guy is talking to or what he's talking about yet. I'm not sure. But Mickey James is laughing, probably because it's so goofy. And Bully Ray looks like he wants to kill himself. Bully Ray is like, are you serious? Are you serious? And Mickey James is like, ha, like.
Man.
Bully Ray's going to off himself. She's like, you better say something before this guy hurts himself.
Woo.
What was that?
What's that?
Yeah, what was that?
Let's go back real quick.
All right, gang is here. You're chilling. Are you ready?
Ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, so a few weeks ago, I got kicked in the head. And all I'm hearing is, oh, he got knocked out by a girl. I have a message for you. Hey, yo, you got Snapchat?
You guys really should watch LFG on a A&E. Give it a few watches, the first 1 or 2 episodes, because it looks like it's going to be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, man. Woo.
What was that?
What's that?
Yeah, what was that?
Booker T has the best response. And what was that? Oh, man. Man, Booker T killed me the other night on NXT. What was that? Fucking love Booker T. What was that? It's the best question to ask. Look at Bully Ray. He's starting to smile. Undertaker's like, yeah. What was that?
What's that?
What you just did in the ring. That wasn't a promo, was it?
I would like to think it was a promo.
Look here, do me I want to hear a real promo, all right? Just say, for instance, you was in a fight with Bubba Ray, and
Gotcha.
you had to whoop Bubba Ray's ass.
I got a promo.
All right, so you got 60 seconds.
Yep.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I like how Booker T reset him with that. Okay, your own creativity didn't work. Here I'm gonna give you the cheat code. Bully Ray, this is what happened. Go. I like that from Booker. Although, you know, whatever you say about Bubba Ray, Bully Ray, Bubba Dudley, whatever, you know, whatever you say about him, it's gonna come back at you because he's sitting right there, and you know, Booker T is just got screwed him right off the bat with this.
Ready.
Go.
You know, when I first got here to this LFG or whatever's going on in this place, I reached out my hand to Bubba to shake his hand. I felt completely disrespected. So, Bubba, here's the reality. I'm not going to sit here like one of these little soy boys with my tail tucked between my legs. Oh, Bubba, so nice to meet you. You're such a legend. Nah, bro, I ain't about that. I'm about showing respect.
He's got a good idea where he's going, but it's the way he's speaking, and I'm not about that. Like, his fake gangster talk, it just sounds bad.
I like that a lot better.
It was better, though. Yeah, it was better. I'll take that. Like, you didn't shake my hand. You got real. That's good.
Considerably better.
Much better.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Sir.
Or if you have like a legit, I'm talking, you're not.
Okay.
As if you had like some kind of legit issue with me.
Well, yeah, the second one is just real. I just ripped
What
it on
issue
fly.
do you have with me?
I just think you're a bully. Just how you treated me with complete disrespect.
I was never a bully to you. I didn't shake your hand.
See, even this, is this why that guy called the show earlier and called him a bully? First of all, his goddamn name is Bully, right?
Because I don't want to become too familiar with you or anybody else until you win the competition and you earned the right.
Yeah.
Why are you smiling now? Your nervous tics are giving you away so much.
It's not a nervous
See, not
tic.
only am I a successful professional wrestler, I'm a professional psychologist and poker player.
Yeah.
And all your tics are completely showing.
Look at you, Bubba, on your high horse.
attitude,
Oh, almost
this
like
is not a
Bully
high
Juice.
horse. I'm in 2 Hall of Fames and I have more championships and you have
Cool.
shower time.
Cool, I'm glad that defines
so
you, Bubba.
I'm glad that what
defines you.
you think is going to work for you, you're doing.
Even though, like, I like that this guy's going crazy. We've already seen this clip, but this part of the clip. But, you know, even though the guy's going crazy, it's hard to say, right? Like, as a wrestling fan, you know, I don't know if I would get in there and go there with a wrestler like Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, Undertaker, Booker T, any of them. I would have said, yeah, you didn't shake my hand. I don't know whether that was disrespect or just, I'm not worth it yet, whatever the case is. But Booker T told me to cut a promo on you and that we got a match coming up. So, yeah, I'm going to use every bullet I got in the gun against you. Whether that's real, not real, wrong, or right, whatever it is, Bully Ray, Bubba Ray, whatever you are, I'm going to be your bully in 60 days in that match the Booker T set up for us. Got a problem with it? Go ahead. Keep saying stuff. I would have said something like that to him, but I wouldn't be like, he's getting real, like I don't know, bro. But then again, maybe that's a good thing, right? Playing it safe will get you nowhere. Standing out. This is the most viewed clip of LFG, right? We've heard about LFG now for like 6 weeks or so, or actually maybe only 3 weeks. I don't remember. But this is the clip that we've played multiple times that we've heard about. And this is the most buzz of LFG, is this douchebag guy fighting with Bubba Ray Dudley while The Undertaker's there with Booker T and Mickie James, right? This is the clip. This is the moment. If this show doesn't do that great going beyond this, this is the only part of it that we're all going to remember ever. And so does that not make what he's doing worth it? And, yeah, you could give the assist, really, to Bully Ray, Bubba Ray Dudley, for, challenging him this way and doing this. Because if Bully Ray just goes, okay, man, well, I think kind of sucks, so see you later. Well, this is not memorable. So you give the assist to everybody here, really, all the legends, and then this guy. So this is the most memorable clip. It's the most played clip.
So maybe you want to think about the attitude moving forward during this show.
All right, I'll chew on it.
You hear Bubba Ray's voice crack there a little bit? I heard your voice crack a little bit there. Is that what's going to happen every time we have an exchange? Is your voice going to crack? Are your man parts going up a little bit? Why don't you do something? Imagine if he said that, bro. Bubba Ray may have beat his ass.
All right.
Anyone else?
Next.
No, wait a minute.
Wait.
Hold on, bud.
Wait, come back.
Get back in here.
Taker calls him back. This is the part that we got to, but they cut it off every time. And I think they might cut it off again because there's only 12 seconds left.
Are you kidding me?
WWE.
Yeah, they cut it off. See, so we've seen this clip before. We've already seen this. Yeah, we saw this already. Okay, I thought it was going to be something new, but it's not. Oh, well, either way, it's not that bad. Rick Shaw goes, you will not win. You will not win. Yeah, exactly. Bully Ray doesn't break character, period. Maybe on the podcast. Exactly. I agree, Rick Shaw. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, no, that's the... Listen, that's why Undertaker, Bully Ray, very similar. Like, you never know what they're, what's really going on there. I wouldn't have done that. It's just, I couldn't do... I can't fake be tough to Bubba Ray. I'm not going to fake be tough to Bubba Ray if I'm in this competition. I'm going to listen, learn, and then wait for my spot. You know what I mean? I think there really, no matter what you say to Bubba Ray, to Bully Ray right there, he was going to come at you with something, right? Booker T set the table. Hey, you got a match against Bully Ray, 60 days, whatever. Maybe he could have gone more generic, but he went right into that personal situation. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is there, but that's where I'd be learning, right? I would say that in the background, in the backstage area. What do you think the right answer would have been there? Because I was trying to use realism and real feelings to build our feud, but it sounded like, that was a problem, that mistake that I made, and maybe it is a mistake that I'm making. What's the right answer? You tell me. I've learned about how certain wrestlers were in the back over the years, like, let's say, Shawn Michaels, and let's talk about the success that people like that have. Well, I'm trying to be a savage, too, and, if we're going to hold me back and hold me down, maybe we're going to get a mediocre superstar or a guy that never is a superstar. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to be as real and as ferocious as I can be. I got a lot of respect for you and everybody else here, but, this is my life. Let's go. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I probably wouldn't have done what he did. Just saying. If they really hype this up, it's nothing. So many people will be pissed. Bubba shit-talked a ravenous ECW crowd and caused riots. This geek never had a chance. That's true. Dude, Bubba Ray would go at a crowd that potentially could decide to swarm the ring with weapons, with unstable Philly characters who might be outside in the parking lot and know where you parked, who might be waiting in the shadows outside, who might have weapons on them. Multiple big, crazy, sweaty wrestling fans on drugs with nothing to lose, and Bubba Ray Dudley Bully Ray would go at them on promos, in their faces, up against the guardrails, whatever. I think he was fully prepared to beat them all one by one as they climb the guardrail if need be. That's the kind of savage that Bully Ray is. And listen, if you're gonna get, if you call another man a bully because he doesn't shake your hand, I'm sorry, you are a soy boy. This guy said, I'm not some soy boy or something or other, what else. If I was Bully Ray, Bubba Ray Dudley there, I would have said, hey, a minute ago you said you weren't some soy boy, but you're all crying over the fact that I didn't shake your hand, and you called me another man a bully. Is that what you do, is call other people bullies because they didn't shake your hand? What kind of huggy-wuggy, kissy-poo life did you grow up in, boy? Let me ask you that. Because if not shaking your hand is going to set that fuse loose in you and release all these facial tics of cowardice in you, then, son, you ain't going to last here very long, okay? Look me in the eye and tell me, were you offended that I didn't shake your hand? Am I a bully for not shaking your hand? Because I'll show you what a fucking bully is. And that's where I would have gone with it. Bully Ray is a bully. You better be careful. Yeah, he's a good guy to the people he knows and that he's friends with now in the business. But, if you don't know who the hell you are and he didn't shake my hand, I'll give you something to be bullied about. So I like it. But that's the best clip. Is that as good as the show gets? Well, then the show's going to... But if it's good every week, they got highlights every week, they can make me want to watch every week. That LFG could be a really good show. I really want to hear what The Undertaker says there. I really want to know what The Undertaker says. So I'm going to go watch LFG, and I'll review that too. But that being said, I think I'm going to get out of here because I've been on air for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I'm a loser. So I love you all. Thank you to all the new subs. Thanks for hitting the sub button. Thanks for hitting the like button. If anybody wants to donate, Streamlabs is pinned to the top of the chat. That's the way to donate. That's the way to do it. Comment down below. Leave me super thanks. If you want bonus content, you can go to patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Thousands of bonus podcasts on Patreon. You can't hear anybody else. There's been over 1,200 patrons that we've had on there that have enjoyed, downloaded, and checked out all that content. It's loaded with shit. Go check it out. And remember, Toni Storm's the champ. She looks great. I love it. She's entertaining in AEW. I thought Vengeance was pretty good the other night. You really got to check it out if you didn't see it. I think there's a couple of things worth watching. The Women's North American Championship being the number one thing you got to check out. Jordynne Grace shouldn't be on the main roster because it's WrestleMania season. There's too much going on. She get lost in the shuffle. Save her. Let her go in NXT. And when it's WrestleMania's over, she can come up on the main roster. That will be a big deal. I think they're doing the right thing. And, of course, Road Dogg is back on SmackDown now as a writer. And this time, he's not being controlled by multiple people all over the place. And maybe this time, he's going to be able to do a little bit more with what he has. So let Road Dogg cook. Let him cook. Defend Road Dogg at all costs. We'll see what he can do. I hope he can do a lot. And I thank you guys for giving me the subscription and for at least checking out this stream. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you next time. I'm Joe Cronin. You can find my dummy producer account on Twitter at MetaWorldOnline and Instagram.com/Joe Cronin Show, at Joe Cronin Show, Facebook.com/Joe Cronin Show. TikTok. I'm on TikTok, Joe Cronin Show. We got over 1 million views on TikTok this week. Really nice to see that. And we're really crushing it on TikTok this week. Pretty happy with how things are going there. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for being here again. Love to all of you. Have a good night. I'll see you for the Monday Night Raw review.
When it comes crashing down, Joe is not to be found, crying on the ground. In his tears he will down. Goodbye, Joe. Joe Cronin is pathetic. Joe Cronin is a loser. Joe Cronin lost his job because he is just a slob. Joe Cronin lost his job. Joe Cronin lost his job. Next. When it comes crashing down, Joe is not to be found, crying on the ground. In his tears he will down. Goodbye, Joe. Joe Cronin is pathetic. Joe Cronin is a loser. Joe Cronin lost his job because he is just a slob. Joe Cronin lost his job. Joe Cronin lost his job. Next he'll lose his house. Then he will lose his life. All his efforts and success, but yet he's still stressed. Lost in hopelessness. He is just the wreck. Begging all the time, you won't get a dime. Donation's not a crime, but it feels like it's your time. Joe Cronin is pathetic. Joe Cronin is a loser. Joe Cronin lost his job because he is just a slob.
All right, folks, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready to dive in.
Awesome. So today we're tackling some interesting stuff happening over in AEW land.
Yeah, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, definitely making some waves these days.
Oh yeah, for sure. And well, not all the waves are, positive, right?
Right. There's been some chatter, some concern even about the ratings lately.
That's what we're diving into today. We've got this YouTube video here. It's called AEW Ratings Drop Again before WWE SmackDown.mp4, and well, it's got some pretty stark numbers.
Yeah, those numbers definitely caught my eye too. We're talking viewership, the lifeblood of any wrestling promotion.
Exactly. So let's unpack this a bit. What are we looking at here? Give us the rundown.
Okay, so the video highlights that AEW drew 604,000 viewers for a recent show, which, on the surface, might not sound terrible, right?
Yeah, I mean, hundreds of thousands of people are still tuning in.
But, and here's the kicker, that number represents an 8% drop from the previous week.
Oh, okay. So not just a flat number, but a decline.
A decline, and not a small one. And to add another layer, it's a 5% drop compared to other weeks, even before the holiday season.
Whoa. Hold on. Back up. You're telling me that their viewership is actually down after the holidays?
You got it. Typically, the holiday season is prime time for wrestling. Families are together, people are in a festive mood. You usually see a bump in viewership.
Makes sense.
But for AEW, this time it's the opposite. And that's what's got people talking, wondering if this is just a blip or a sign of a bigger problem brewing.
Okay. I see where you're going with this. So let's play devil's advocate for a second. What's the worst case scenario if this trend continues?
Well, the first thing you have to think about is the financial hit. Networks, they shell out big bucks for shows that pull in viewers.
Right, advertising and all that jazz.
Exactly. Advertising is king. Fewer viewers, less ad revenue, and that puts a squeeze on AEW's budget.
And a tight budget, well, that affects everything.
Everything. Production quality, storylines, and most importantly...
Hit me with it.
The talent. The wrestlers themselves.
Yeah, AEW's got a reputation for, snagging some of the biggest names in the business.
Right, and those big names, they don't come cheap.
So if the money starts drying up...
Well, wrestlers, they're performers, yeah, but they're also business people. They got to go where the opportunities are, where the audiences are.
You think some of them might jump ship?
It's not out of the realm of possibility. If AEW's viewership keeps sliding and the budget gets tighter, you might see some of those big names looking at, say, WWE, where the audience is bigger, the paychecks are potentially fatter.
Wow. That would be a blow to AEW.
It would. It would. And it could create a vicious cycle, right?
Explain.
Top talent leaves, viewership drops even further because fans follow those wrestlers, and suddenly AEW is in a real tough spot.
Man, talk about a downward spiral.
But we haven't even talked about the networks yet.
Oh, right. They have a say in all this too, don't they?
Absolutely. Networks are all about those bottom lines. If AEW isn't delivering the viewership, their leverage in future TV deals plummets. They'll have less bargaining power to secure favorable time slots and, juicy contracts.
And on top of all that, there's the whole morale thing.
Morale, yes. A wrestling company is like a team, If the team's not winning, if the energy's low,
it can affect their performance.
Exactly. Wrestlers feed off the crowd, off that energy. If they feel like the audience is shrinking, it can impact their performance, their creativity, their whole vibe.
And that's not good for anyone.
Not at all. It's a domino effect. Now, speaking of competition...
Oh, yeah. The video mentioned WWE and their upcoming Royal Rumble. That's like their Super Bowl, right?
It is. The Royal Rumble is a huge event, a massive draw for WWE. Even casual fans tune in for that one.
Do you think that's part of the issue for AEW? Like, are they not creating those big must-see events?
That's a good question. And it's a complex one. Success in wrestling isn't just about big names or flashy events.
Yeah, you got to keep the fans engaged.
You got it. It's about connecting with the audience on a deeper level, telling compelling stories, creating those moments that get people talking, keep them coming back for more.
The video creator actually touched on that. Like, they were encouraging viewers to leave comments, make predictions, get involved.
And that's smart. In today's world, fan engagement is huge, GE. AEW needs to be in tune with what their audience wants, what gets them excited, and deliver on that consistently.
Social media, forums, all that thing.
Exactly. AEW needs to tap into that feedback loop to stay relevant, to stay competitive.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a sec. We've got these declining ratings, the potential financial worries, this looming presence of WWE. It's a lot to process. What's the takeaway for our listeners?
The takeaway is this. AEW is at a crossroads.
Dun-dun.
They have amazing talent, a passionate fan base, a unique style, but they need to be strategic.
Like really strategic.
They need to innovate, maybe even be a little bit ruthless. To overcome these challenges, their long-term future might depend on it.
It really makes you wonder, is this just a bump in the road, or is it a sign of deeper problems? Can they turn things around?
Guys, I wanted to come back just to say, earlier in the night on the poll, things were very close, but they have turned around a little bit here. So I just want to bring up the poll really quickly now that everybody's really had a chance to vote. 163 votes now. Vengeance tops Grand Slam. So I just wanted to bring that to a close as we end the show, because that is a little... Vengeance was coming back the whole show, and it eventually overtook Grand Slam in the poll. So, wow, man. Vengeance getting liked more than Grand Slam, and both are a tie, 9%. So that's a good chunk of people who like both shows, and 18% didn't like either one. So it's about 30 people didn't like either one or so. But, 15 or so people thought both were great, and, then everybody else is where they are. I don't do math that well, but... interesting stuff. But yeah, Vengeance pulls it out in the end here in the poll. Very interesting. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Catch you guys later.